evil mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest villain of them all?
Google me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Zachary Reality, and we are here for a brand new video today breaking down the cast of House of Villains. This is a new show coming to the E! Entertainment Network. They have not had a crazy good reality show in a while, but this cast is stacked. So we're gonna break down the cast and break down the premise of the show. The show has not come out yet. The trailer has dropped, the cast has dropped, but the show does not come out until October 12th. It was announced a few weeks ago, but they just put out another trailer yesterday, adding 3 new names to the cast list. So it just reminded me that I should probably make a video and break this down because I am really, really excited about this. So if you guys are new to my YouTube channel, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you're always up to date whenever I post new videos. So House of Villains is basically going to be a show about the biggest villains in reality TV. They're going to be heading to some sort of house to compete for $200,000. So October 12th at 10 p.m. on E! The competitive show houses 10 of the biggest troublemakers that reality TV has ever produced. They will be competing in a series of challenges as they outwit each other with their best manipulative tactics to take home the title of America's ultimate super villain. And the show is hosted by Joel McHale. The biggest villain of them will be winning $200,000, and the participants are from some of the most popular shows in the unscripted universe. As they assemble under one roof and get tested based on their physical, mental, and emotional strength, House of Villains Season 1 promises to be a heated competition of individuals out to outsmart, outmanipulate, and out-scheme each other. Sounds crazy, sounds epic. And if you guys notice, they said House of Villains Season 1, which means that they plan on doing another season after this. So let's start with the cast. We have Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules. He was an OG cast member of Vanderpump Rules. He was the biggest villain because he cheated on Stassi with Kristen, her best friend. He cheated on his girlfriend with his best friend, with her best friend, while the best friend Kristen was also dating his best friend Tom. Did I get that right? I don't even think I watched the first few seasons of Vanderpump Rules, but of course I've watched so many recent seasons ever since. And Jax also might be making a comeback to Vanderpump Rules, who knows, but he is the ultimate villain. He's obviously turned into such a good guy now. He's a family man, he has a podcast, he has a new restaurant opening up soon. So he's totally turned his life around, but when he was in his 20s, he made such a splash on Vanderpump Rules, becoming one of the biggest villains in Bravo TV history. Our next villain is Omarosa. You may know her from The Apprentice. So I totally watched her on The Apprentice years ago, and then she came back to do The Celebrity Apprentice, and she was just evil. She is the biggest villain, I think, on this show. And maybe you guys have a different opinion. We're going to get to the whole cast, and you guys can share who you think the biggest villain is or who you're rooting for in the comments down below. But Omarosa, oof, she was tough. Now, she famously made headlines for her tell-all book about her time with former President Trump, as she was Trump's director of African American outreach in the 2016 presidential election. She also worked on Barack Obama's first election campaign, and Trump's campaign actually sued her, claiming she violated a non-disclosure agreement with her book, but was ordered to pay $1.3 million in legal fees, according to NBC News. Interesting. So Omarosa, she's out for blood. I don't think that she's going to make it very far. I think she's going to be good at the game, but a show like this, I feel like you're going to have to make alliances and make friends, and I just don't think Omarosa is going to be able to make friends because she truly is so evil, and I can't tell if it's like a bit or if it's just like who she is. And sometimes I think it is a bit because she just turns it on for the shows, and she's brilliant. She's a brilliant character. And I also remember her going viral for her interview on Bethany Frankel's talk show years ago. They had a very heated discussion, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. Next up, we have Corinne Olympios from The Bachelor. Obviously, you guys know, if you follow me, I'm a big Bachelor Nation fan. Corinne was on Nick Viall's season. She was infamous for her cheese pasta. She had a nanny at 24. She just caused a lot of trouble, but she was very likable. She was one of the first villains on The Bachelor to kind of change the villain archetype from being hated to actually being loved. And she made it to top 4 on Nick's season. And then she also went to Bachelor in Paradise, where she had a scandal with a guy named Demario, and they were asked to leave the beach. So she had a lot of time on reality TV, but she hasn't been on a show for a long time. So it'll be interesting to see how she is. I think she'll make it far because she is one of the hottest girls. I think she'll be able to manipulate a lot of the guys if they're single. And I think she's likable and she's not gonna like be so evil, you know? Next up, we have Tiffany New York Pollard, who you guys know from Flavor of Love and I Love New York. Now, I did not watch either of these shows, so I am not overly familiar with who Tiffany is, but I do know from a lot of my friends who are obsessed with her that they are obsessed with her and that they ride or die for her at all costs. I know her fan base is strong as AF. So when she appeared on Flavor of Love, she was trying to win over Flavor Flav's heart. And he actually gave her the nickname New York because her iconic insults to other cast members and reactions that are still used today. She is also remembered for an unforgettable elimination ceremony where she feuded with Pumpkins, whose real name is Baruch. While Tiffany was a runner-up in the season, she's still around decades later, basking in her villainous fame. Okay, Tiffany, New York. Next up, we have Johnny Bananas, who you know from The Challenge. He's also been on a lot of other reality shows. I feel like he's done The Challenge USA, he's done The Real World Key West. He's an MTV legend because of his crazy antics and pranks that gave him the nickname Bananas. He was first displayed on the Real World in 2005, fighting with roommates, and he was very manipulative on The Challenge, and he even won the $275,000 and ended up splitting it with his teammate, Sarah. I'm not overly familiar with his work. I have not seen The Challenge, but of course I know who he is. Did he do Big Brother or something? He's just very involved in a lot of the reality TV fandom accounts. Then we have Anfisa from 90 Day Fiancé. Now, I know who she is, and I didn't even watch 90 Day Fiancé, but I know exactly who she is from 90 Day Fiancé. Now, she is now a U.S. citizen after divorcing Jorge, but when the 27-year-old debuted on 90 Day Fiancé, she set the standards high as the franchise villain. Her manipulative behavior, demands for expensive gifts, and infamously screaming, "Bring me my red bag with makeup," made the show's OG gold digger memorable for the wrong reasons. She looks crazy. She is crazy. She's going to be so much fun to watch on this season. Next up, we have Shake from Love is Blind. Of course, I know Shake very well. I've had him on my podcast. I've done his podcast. We've done Instagram lives together. When Love is Blind season 2 was airing, he was the ultimate villain. No one from the cast liked him. So much so that he didn't even go to After the Altar, which they do every single year. I like Shake, but I mean, if you watched him on this show, he was so horrible to Deep D, who he was in a relationship with, and they were engaged, and they did not end up getting married. He admitted that he was never physically attracted to his partner. He said that Deep D, Deep D declared that she deserved better at the altar, which led her to being the hero, and she really ran with that hero storyline. And Shake, he made an ass of himself at the reunion as well. What did he say? Love is blurry. Shake is reality TV gold. I think he's going to clash with Jax from what I saw in the teaser, which does not surprise me because they both have pretty big egos. Shake makes great television. And we also know that he is good friends with Corinne. There was some dating rumors when they posted pictures together in Florida, I guess, because they both live in Miami. So I think that they'll probably have an alliance in the show. And I think Shake will make it about halfway through. I don't think that he has enough skin in the game as some of these other reality TV stars who have been around for decades doing this to go all the way. I think that, I don't know who's going to win, but I think that the OGs have a lot of leeway because they just know more about the game than some of the newbies like Shake, who is just from a few years ago on Netflix. Next up, we have Johnny Fairplay from Survivor. Of course, I watched this when I was younger. Pearl Islands season 7 was the first season of Survivor that I watched. And Johnny Fairplay is known for lying about his grandmother's death to gain advantage in the game. It was the home visits where on Survivor you get to like the final 7 because the show starts with like, it used to be 16, now it starts with 20 people, but when you get to like the final 6, 7, maybe 8, they bring in your loved ones. And Johnny had one of his best friends come to visit him who literally made up a story and lied and told Johnny in front of the rest of the cast that his grandma died. And it was to give leeway and sympathy so that he can make it to the end and nobody would want to vote him out. It was so evil. His grandma laughed about it. It was like the one line, "My grandma's at home watching Jerry Springer right now." Johnny also came back to Survivor Micronesia, which was a fans first favorites season, and he was eliminated first. He was the first person voted off. I think he wanted to go home. because I don't think he was up for the challenge again. I mean, Survivor is a hard show. You got to starve. Now it's different. They do 26 days, but I mean, it used to be a lot harder. Next up, we have Bobby Lights from Love and Hip Hop Miami. I have never seen this show, but Bobby looks absolutely fabulous. Great makeup, great hair, great style. We have our first gay, I'm glad. Now it says here that Bobby Lights was one of the show's original 8 cast members. He made reality TV history as the first openly gay main cast member for 3 seasons. A sucker for some good old shade, Bobby isn't one to shy away from drama and conflict. Bobby wants to change his past on-screen behavior, but being cast on House of Villains suggests otherwise. Honestly, Bobby looked like he was getting into it in the trailer. So I feel like he's going to have some drama. I think he's going to get along with Tiffany and with Tanisha, who we are going to talk about next. We have Tanisha Thomas here from Bad Girls Club. Now, I know Tanisha from Marriage Boot Camp. Tanisha was in a relationship at the time with a guy named, what was his name? I'm going to look it up so I know. Clive. With a guy named Clive. They had a very toxic relationship, and Marriage Boot Camp was about like these 2 professionals who hosted the show, and they had like 5 couples, and it might have started off as just normal people, but then it went to celebrities who were having relationship issues, and they put you through a boot camp so you can try and solve the issues. And then by the end, you choose to stay together and your issues are fixed, or you agree to go your separate ways. So that's how I know her, and I loved her. She was so chaotic, and she loved arguing, and she loved fighting. I feel like from the trailer, we didn't see much of her, so I wouldn't be surprised if she took a little bit more of a laid-back approach and if she's grown. But I do remember her at the time, this was like 10 years ago, being very immature, constantly picking fights, but also having a really big heart and being really good reality TV. And as far as her appearance on the Bad Girls Club, I never even watched that, but it says here that she dared women on the show to pop off, is famous for the pots and pans incident where she tried to wake them up out of their sleep by banging utensils. She was accused of being narcissistic. She went on to host reunion show specials and starred in her own solo docuseries called Tanisha Gets Married. I think that she is gonna be great TV, and I think that out of all these people, I think she might win. I'm looking at the cast right now. I think Jax has a chance to win, to be honest. I think that he is kind of like the main guy leading this show. I don't think it will be Corinne. I don't think it will be Omarosa. It could be Tiffany. It won't be Johnny Bananas. It will not be Anfisa. I don't think Shake will win. I don't think Johnny Fairplay will win. I don't think Bobby's going to win. So I think it's going to be Tanisha. That is my guess. Tanisha. So that's my prediction without seeing any episodes. I'm sure that my predictions will change when the episodes come out and I recap the show on my TikTok, which you guys know you can follow at Zachary Reality. Oh, and then the 3 new cast members who we saw in the extended teaser, which came out today, were Abby Lee Miller from Dance Moms. So insane, iconic. Danielle Staub from The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Super villain on Jersey. Oh my God. If you watch Jersey Housewives, you know. And then Spencer Pratt, who is coming in from The Hills. Now, I don't know if these people are just going to come in a few episodes in and just kind of compete and throw it for a curveball. Based on the teaser, it looked like Spencer maybe was coming in to just like stop by. I don't know if Abby and Danielle are also just coming in to stop by or if they're going to be contestants. But right now, they will definitely be there. And we have 13 cast members that we know will be on the season. So let me know your predictions on how you think House of Villains is going to go. I personally think it's going to be a huge hit because everyone loves a reality TV crossover show, like more than anything, because it combines all of your worlds. Like if you don't know everyone on the cast, like you at least know someone that you want to tune in for. So, and I love a good competition show. I love shows where you vote people off, where there's a prize. This is my type of show. I love the villains. And I definitely think that season 2, I have a lot of people that I think could go on it too. I mean, this show, depending on how it does, there's so many villains in reality TV. I mean, there's so many great names that could have been made on it. So if you guys know anyone that you think should be on House of Villains season 2, not only comment down below who you think is going to win, but comment down below who you would cast for next season. And thank you all so much for tuning into this YouTube video. Be sure to give this one a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Ring the bell, turn on the notifications so you're notified whenever I post new videos. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.